mean that in a particular kind of way.
No, no, no.
I did bring it today. I mean, I have to tell the ages that are 13
But I
and
mean, my girls are trying to understand.
Yep. So we're
so
okay.
can we get it?
Let me.
And it's weird. It's not like Martha's door was okay. My door is swollen, and when I went into the office, it was
How was it?
really stuffy.
Good.
I don't know if Amber came in and turned the AC
Yeah.
on, and it's better
Seems
now,
like it was good to laugh.
but it
Yes.
was
We need
bad.
those moments of levity.
And I started wondering, I wonder if over the weekend I should shut that line. But it's just really wet.
Into public hearings tonight that will begin at 6:15. All right, 3.1 will be the recognition of Choctawhatchee High School Boys Weightlifting 2025 Florida High School Athletic Association 2A Boys Weightlifting Traditional State Champions, presented by Superintendent Chambers. And then 3.2, recognition of Dawson Newman, 2020 Boys Weightlifting Olympic and Traditional State Champion, presented by Superintendent Chambers. And then 3.3, recognition of Brandon Stinger, 2025 Florida High Athletic Association 2A 200.
Well at the meet there, and from what I understand, there's going to be quite a few more probably from other schools that did very well in weightlifting. So it looks like weightlifting might be our thing in Okaloosa County. So.
Good. That's good. All right, thank you, Mr. Bryant. All right, so we have no administrative personnel appointments in Section 5. Section 6, Committee and Staff Reports. 6.1, Quarterly Report, Service Agreements under the $10,000 threshold for internal and budgetary funds, presented by Mr. Wyndham. And then 6.2, Quarterly Report, Short-Term Facility Use Contracts and Lease Agreements under the $10,000 threshold, also presented by Mr. Wyndham. And then 6.4, out-of-county travel paid for March 2025, also presented by Ms. Perry. That takes us to consent agenda. 7.1 will be the approval. 7.2, approval of the minutes of the student disciplinary hearing of April 14th, 2025, all recommended by Superintendent Chambers.
I have a question on that, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Chairman. Under the executive content, the draft, there's a highlighted area. I didn't know if that. Oh, disregard.
All right, very good. Thank you. All right, 7.4, school donations presented by Ms. Perry and recommended by the superintendent.
I'd like to make a comment on that.
Yes, sir.
We're closing in on 400,000.
Pretty good, huh?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
All right. All right, 7.5, payroll warrant register and accounts pay $29. Self-health insurance claims and fees totaling $3,042,156.49, and bank transfers totaling $20 million for March 2025, all presented by Ms. Perry and recommended by the superintendent. $7,513 to charter schools, presented by Ms. Perry and recommended by the superintendent. 7.7, 25-07, Crestview High Auto Lab remodel, presented by Mr. Wyndham and recommended by the superintendent for approval.
Dr. White, can I
Yes, sir.
comment on that
Sure.
particular item? And this is a remodel that I know is going to enhance that program even more. So really excited for Crestview High getting this remodel.
That's right. Thank you, Mr. Bryant. 7.8, amended reward of ITB 25-04 district-wide athletic field services presented by Mr. Wyndham and recommended. 7.10, tag-on bid purchase over $50,000 to train presented by Mr. Wyndham and recommended by the superintendent. 7.11, tag-on bid purchase. 7.14, tag-on bid purchase over $50,000 to train presented by Mr. Wyndham and recommended by the superintendent. 7.15, exempted purchase over $50,000 to Reality Works presented by Mr. Wyndham and recommended by the superintendent. 7.16, multi-year agreement to Canva presented by Mr.
Costs associated with that?
So we had some discussion about that, I think. Is that Mr. Spolsky?
It's a 36-month contract, sir, but there is no cost for that being an educational entity, so no fees associated.
Okay, so how I read it, I was just, thank you.
All right. And recommended by the superintendent. 7.18, permission to open before and after school and summer daycare program at Edwins Elementary, presented by Ms. Armstrong, the principal, in Edwins Elementary School, and recommended by the superintendent. 7.19, summer volunteer intended. 7.20, career dual enrollment articulation agreement between Okaloosa Technical College and the public high schools of the School District of Okaloosa County and the Destin High School Charter School, presented by Mr. John Williams, Director, Okaloosa Technical College. 7.21, Teleforce Task Order Number 001 for Crestview High School Berkadia Security Camera Replacements, presented by Mr. Keith and recommended by the superintendent for approval. 7.22, request to advertise a public hearing for the adoption and recommended by the superintendent. 7.23, request to advertise a public hearing for the adoption of a new job description for technician, safety and security systems, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent.
Dr. White, these last two items, it's a particular item, Mr. Spolsky, these two items are not necessarily new jobs. They're just being updated to meet what the state says we have to have. Is this correct?
Yes, sir. 722 and 723 are both cleanup job descriptions on what current employees are doing for our district to prop up the Office of Safe Schools.
Yeah, sometimes I get asked, oh, we're creating new jobs, but this is actually just a revision of a current job.
Public hearing for the adoption of a new job description for Director, Office of Safe Schools, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent for approval.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
question on that one.
Yes, sir.
It says on here no cost, but there is a little cost to that one, right?
Yes, on 722 and 23, there is no cost. On 724 is about $8,000 cost for the director position. Yes, sir.
So under this item details, the fiscal impact should,
school year once the budget has been approved, and it will be not an immediate turnover right now. This is just in anticipation of a future job that will be associated with a future budget.
okay.
All right, thank you. All right, this brings us to Section 8, Superintendent's Human Resources Recommendations, 8.1, Information Only. 8.3, Employment Separations, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent. 8.4, Waiver of the OCEA Master Contract requested by Okaloosa Technical College to adjust the standard work week for the 2025-2026 school year, presented by Director John Williams and recommended by the superintendent. 8.6, Employee Transfers, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent. 8.7, Employee Suspension, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent. 8.8, Leave Without Pay, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent. 8.9, reinstatement reimbursement of sick leave due to line of duty illness, injury, medical examination presented by Dr. Hale. An agenda is of this time. Section 10, program owners representatives business. Mr. Hindley, sir, any comment?
Is this my time to ask a question? For the, my
Yeah.
trivia? Okay.
Well, no, you might want to save that. This is about
Oh, this is, I'm sorry.
construction program.
Oh, you're getting ahead of me. I was slow.
Nothing further there. All right, we do have a couple of action items, though, under this particular agenda area. 10.2, TPM Program Number 6, Task Order Number 44, GMP for Roof Replacement Project, Elliott Point Elementary, Phase 1, Woodlands Elementary School Cafeteria and Media Center Renovation Project, presented by Dr. Smith and recommended by the superintendent.
I have a quick
Yes, sir.
question regarding.
Yeah, man.
So, Mr. Myers, so this is actually going to be our first cafetorium remodel and all. Now, I know Edwin's is going to be a little different than the majority of them because I think we're going to move, according to this, we're going to move the media.
Center will now be classrooms.
Okay, and how many classrooms do you think we'll
Three
get?
in the media center and then another one in the old cafeteria.
Okay, all right.
So 4 classrooms.
Okay, but moving forward, the majority of those cafetoriums are going to be turned into
One other
classrooms?
school is looking at another alternative that we're still working out design.
Okay, all right.
But yes, sir, for the most part, all into classrooms.
Well, what are you doing with those cafetoriums now that we're not using them, but turning them into classrooms? And I know for Edwin's, this hopefully will eliminate the
Most of the portables.
portables.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
sir.
So, all right, thank you.
All right,
And Mr. Bryan, just to add on remark, we're trying to accelerate those a little bit because we have a lot of them now.
Sure.
So we're trying to accelerate those, but it comes down to money.
Item number 6, Task Order Number 28, Scope Modification Number 2, Phase 2, Security Upgrades at Niceville High School and Baker School, presented by Dr. Smith and recommended by the superintendent.
Quick question on this one too. So, thank you, Mr. Meyer. You're always the ultimate professional there. So, so I know Ms. Ivanchek is not here today. Eliminate a lot of their
It
keys.
will. They have a large key ring,
Yes.
multiple locks over the years. So every classroom will now have the Salto swipe. So
Okay.
all those keys would be eliminated. Now, smaller rooms, custodial offices,
Sure.
they'll still have keys, but
Sure.
it's gonna.
Yeah, poor
eliminate
Mr.
most.
Bartello, you know, you could hear him coming a mile away because he had so many keys on his. And this obviously will.
Sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, a
Yeah.
comment on that.
Sure.
Mr. Bryan, just to hit on the money aspect again. I mean, there's decisions have to be made. What is we spend the money on? And everybody wants better security, but at the same time, we have cafeterias that need to be remodeled, what have you. So there,
I mean, and what you're saying is this was quite expensive, just for 2 schools.
yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, if you try to do that to every school, I mean, what's more important?
that's
the
it.
decision.
That's right. Right. All right, so that takes us through these particular items and moves us to Section 11. Mr. Attorney, your business, sir.
No business this morning.
All right, Superintendent Chambers, so you may have some items too.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Dr. White. I am sitting in for Mr. Chambers, who extends his regrets, but he is serving today in his capacity on the Board of Directors for the Florida High School Athletic Association. And I'm hoping that he has a good, efficient day down there and that he'll be back tonight. It has been a very busy spring in the Human Professional Services Department. That will be in an upcoming board meeting. Today we're going to focus on risk management and human resources specifically. There have been a lot of activities going on. I'm sure you guys have all received invites and seen social media posts and things like that. So I have a few more other things to talk about as well, but we're going to start off today with a report from Ms. Maxey. She's our personnel director. She's going to tell us about our recent.
I appreciate it, and I am excited to give you guys a little bit of information about the job fair that we hosted. So we did it over at Choctaw High School on Saturday, April 5th. We got to use their brand new multi-purpose building, so it was beautiful. We got to welcome those applicants into that brand new space. It was a job fair this time for instructional candidates, but also support candidates. We found that sometimes having those big job fairs is a better way to get people there. And we did have over 60 applicants that attended the job fair. So we had all of our schools were there, and we had a lot of our departments that were there as well. So those applicants got to mingle with the different schools, different departments. We had availability for them to do on-site interviews. So principals, if they found somebody awesome right then and there, they could step to the side, do an interview with them. We also had space where they could do applicant circumstances. So we helped people with the military pathways, maybe those career changers that, oh, you know, I may want to go be a teacher. What does that look like? What would I need to do to make that happen? And then those folks who already have those temporary certificates and maybe just need to take the next step. So that was very successful and something new that we did this year. And then, as I mentioned, the application assistant. So this was probably the most popular part of the job fair, and we're going to continue offering these services. So what we did is we brought in computers, we had HR staff, we've got IT staff. So we were helping them through that application process. So if you've forgotten your password along the way, you've accidentally created a couple different accounts and can't remember how to get in there, if you don't have that computer, we did offer that at the job fair, and we're going to continue doing that here at the Central Complex. The second Tuesday of every month, we'll have HR and that Focus Help Desk IT staff on site to help those individuals take the next step. So any word we can do to continue to spread that information. We have been able to hire people directly from the application assistants. They came in, we were able to get them on a bus that next week. So this is something that I look forward to continuing to do. And so the results of the job fair, we've already extended offers to applicants that did come to the job fair. We're upwards of 10. We had 6 instructional candidates, a handful of support candidates. And then just looking forward. So obviously we've got to be strategic about our recruitment efforts. So one of the things we're looking to potentially do is some more regional focus-based job fairs. And maybe if we've got Edwins, Fort Walton Beach, and Silver Sands are all close together, and we know that they need some custodial staff and some bus drivers in that area. Maybe doing a small localized job fair at one of those schools is something that we are looking to do. And then we are also going to, as a human resources department as a whole, continue to try to promote that education career. How can we help people become teachers? How can we show them that this is a path that is where we are strategically thinking and moving so far. So we just wanted to give you that update about the recruitment and job fair. And next, I'm going to turn it over to Ms.
Any questions for Ms. Maxey about this?
Oh, that's great.
It's good. It's
Thank
good.
you.
And I would just like to point out before we transition to risk management, how much different recruiting and job fairs are now than they were even 5 years ago. And it's a tough thing to stand there for a couple hours and meet just with a few people when you're used to meeting with 20, 30, sometimes even 100. But, you know, we have to be focused. We have to be strategic, just like Ms. Maxey said, and the principals were all on board. And also just a shout out to Choctaw for letting us use their...
And it might be more directed at Dr. Hale than Ms. Maxey. So we obviously had 60 applicants. Over the last few years, our challenge has been to open school with a full staff, whether it's instructional or support. What's our look for next year, going into next school year? Are we looking...
the retention abilities of the principals right now? To say that I have hard data, that would be premature, but we're right in that process right now. But I would say that, you know, this year we carried some vacancies into the beginning of school. The previous year was much more than that, and the previous year was much more than that. So hopefully the trend will continue and we'll be fully staffed as we move in.
But it won't be as bad as it's been the last previous years, like Dr. Hale was saying. So.
And so you got a real big challenge with the new school coming.
Well, I think with like anything, and this is just my personal opinion, and Dr. Hale can probably weigh in, but any time you have anything new, I don't think you have a problem filling that. It's just going to be the ones filling the backflow of it. So,
And I would say, to your point, Mr. Brown, might just be kind of a distribution across one additional new school. There will be some support and some things like that will have to be accounted for. But as we say, the student enrollment drives the FTE.
Have we seen any influence with DOJ cuts, basically workers that have been cut, furloughed, seeking employment with the district? Or have we seen applications that you could make some sort of connection to that?
So for people with alternate degrees, I do see an opportunity for some new employees through that model.
Thanks.
All right, very good. All right, Dr. Hale, I think you have some other
Yes, I'd now like to invite our Director of Risk Management, who I think has her team with her today, her excellent risk management department, to give us a report. You guys have seen a lot of social media and a lot of great innovation, and I think that we even exceeded our expectations. So I'll turn it over to Ms. Cato.
Thank you, Dr. Hale.
Ms.
Thank you,
Gator.
everyone. Good morning. I did just ask my team to come today because I really wanted to say thank you to them in front of everyone and acknowledge my team. If you guys could please stand for just a moment. We have spent a lot of Saturdays for these health fairs, to put these health fairs on, and some hard work. We've toted and borrowed a van from Eric Mitchell to tote decorations and prizes and things to each of these events. We went to Choctaw High School and Crestview High School, used their multi-purpose big huge room as well. It was amazing, and we did such a good job. That box didn't come through, but it says Crestview High School 97, Choctaw High School we had 77 people come, and Central Admin we had 87 people come. So those are the 3 Saturdays that we did. And then in addition to that, we had what I'm calling my baker's dozen. So at each of the school sites listed here, we also had biometrics that would come, so the nurses came on site there, and we served 210 doing that. So altogether, we were supposed to meet 10% of our employee population. We exceeded that by reaching 471 employees, which I thought was phenomenal. So it went really, really well. And then I just wanted to say, or explain a little bit, because a lot of people would say, well, why even offer a health fair? You know, like, why do the decorations? Why make this a big thing? Because people that did come, it was a casino theme, and I always have a logo to go with my theme, which is what happens at the health fair stays at the health fair, and it was a lot of fun. And so these are some of the reasons why we would even want to do that or consider it, right? So we're promoting the wellness and preventative care for our employees. We're supporting their mental and physical health, right? We're boosting the morale and staff engagement. If we can get more engagement, we can help with that. We're connecting the staff with local vendors for their health and wellness. A lot of times they don't know that they have these outside vendors that can meet their needs. So we bring in these vendors so they can, and then also bringing in our vendors on our health plan that we're paying for them, right? So we brought in Digby Health. We brought in a bunch of different ones, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And this is reducing absenteeism and increasing their productivity. So what we brought it to them, we're meeting their needs where they're at. We're not having them take off work to go make a doctor's appointment that they got to wait an hour for to go get their wellness and then come back, maybe not come back because they spent half a day anyways doing that, right? We're at their level on their needs, meeting them where they're at. Next business day, they would have those results, and they also went over with them right there when they had them done too. So this is just a quick snapshot of their overall health, and this is a way to be proactive. So we're not being reactive to people, right? So what happens is sometimes if you let something go, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, you may not know you have that, then you're going to end up in urgent care or the ER. If we can get it ahead of the game, we don't have to do urgent care and ER. Maybe now they can guide them and say, wow, you're dealing with some high blood pressure issues here. You might want to get with your general practitioner or get a general practitioner, because a lot of people don't even have that now, and start getting a list. Came in and they offered free skin cancer screenings. Our aesthetic health and wellness came and they did 3D body scans, so that does bone mass, muscle mass, those types of things. Sam's Club offered discounted memberships. Teachers Federal Credit Union were offering opening employees accounts right there on site with them, which is such a big help. And then Digby, which is one of our vendors that we actually pay for, offers microbiome gut health, and they were on site as well to help get people to understand what that does for them and to also encourage them to sign up as well. And that's just a few people. And then the pictures there are just our employees interacting with our vendors. There might be someone in there you recognize on the dais. So then taking care of your health can also be fun. And I want people to understand that, because sometimes when you're dealing with health matters, it's scary. It's frustrating. You have to take care of bills and claims and things, and also your family and your schools and things like that. So why can we not make it fun too? And so that's what I try to bring to the table, is just kind of make it fun. They had an opportunity to get some prizes from the vendors there while they were on site. And then they got some bags with some giveaways in them as well. To do an event like this doesn't just take my team, it takes a lot of people to put it into place. So I really wanted to say a heartfelt thank you to all of what I call our wellness ambassadors. So we pulled different people from throughout the district that really helped out a lot from HR, and then several spread throughout the district as well that were just willing to come and help and give their time for the event, to work a station, to help through the day, that kind of thing. It was phenomenal. So I just really want to say thank you to that. And then I just wanted to make sure I acknowledge our vendors. We don't have to go through them here, but just to give you a picture of the vendors that were there and to say thank you for letting us bring this to the district, because I really felt like it was worth a lot of knowledge, a lot of time and effort. And then later we'll have some really good data that we can bring you of what the aggregate total is. Like, what are our top 3 things that we need to work on as a district anyway? So we don't get individual results from anyone. That's always protected by HIPAA, but they do give us an aggregate total in a month or two that says, hey, for your district, these are the top 3 things that you should be working on, medically, wellness promoted, those types of things. And then that can help us decide, okay, what kind of plan that should we be investing in for our employees so that we can combat these needs, right? Thank you for having me today.
So Sarah, I might just ask you to include one more piece of information. Very clear that the health fairs focus on employee wellness. And I think Ms. Appleberg, Mr. Strong, they're sitting out there today, the Benefits Oversight Group. I think we would all acknowledge that our primary purpose with these fairs is to improve employee health.
Yes.
But there's a commensurate benefit to our health. Helps the bottom line?
Yes, so the more knowledgeable that you are about your body and what your needs are, the better choices you can make, right? So financially, that doesn't just help you as an employee, but it helps the district as well. So if you partake and you realize, oh, I need Digby Health, I'm going through a gut microbiome situation, Digby Health is going to help me manage that better. So I'm not in the hospital 1 to 4 times a year, after one after another. We're putting a Band-Aid on it, but in this case, we're trying to not just put a Band-Aid on something, we're trying to help you mitigate that, take care of that, heal from now, managing this process and making it better.
Very good. Any questions?
I have a comment. So, Dr. Hale, obviously you knew what I was going to say and ask of this, but I just want to say real quick that the health fair is just another piece of risk management that, like you were saying, that can help lower costs, because we're getting ready to go into the budget season, and if people could see them to be proactive, which we talked a lot about that last week, does help the district at the end of the day. But mostly it helps employees be aware of their health needs and all that. So I know I personally am thankful that we had this health fair, and the only thing I was disappointed about it is that my name did not get called for a prize. So I went to the one at Crestview High School, and y'all did an amazing job up there. So thank you to you and your team for putting on a great event.
Thank you.
Mr. O'Brien, I agree. I attended the one here, did the biometric, did the whole thing. So, and kudos to you and your whole staff, because it was awesome, and it was very realistic, because I didn't win anything at the casino.
Okay, so I just thank you, Sarah. That was great. I just had a few more things to offer on behalf of the superintendent. However, I'm going to be very cautious not to steal thunder that might come from elsewhere down the table. I did want to mention on his behalf how excited he was to have 619 outstanding seniors at the Auntie Mitchell Academic Senior Honors Assembly at the Raider Arena the other night. And as you know, those are recognizing students who have to their efforts, but again, I expect you guys might say something about that as well. Also wanted to acknowledge that tomorrow we'll be having our last ribbon cutting of this school year. We're going to go do a ribbon cutting at Bob Sykes Elementary to unveil their brand new cafeteria and state-of-the-art music classroom. So that's exciting, and we know there's going to be more to come in the coming years, but it's been a real school year, so that's fantastic. And then, of course, I just wanted to give a shout out to our excellent Okaloosa County artists, the award winners from the art show the other night, specifically Ingrid Caltoon from Liza Jackson, Chandler Buckthall from Liza Jackson, Carly King from Fort Walton Beach High School, Samantha Rummelt from Crestview High School, BQ from Fort Walton Beach. Superintendent, just one more mark of excellence for Okaloosa County. One more reason we are an A+ district is because of the efforts of not only these students, but their excellent teachers in their schools. And that's all I have, Dr. White.
All right, thank you, Dr. Hale. All right, colleagues, so that takes us to section 13, board members' announcements. And Mr. Hindley, sir, I'll start with you.
Okay, I just want to comment students that were there. Just the percentage was huge. I think I calculated for NYSO it was like 17% or something. It was very impressive of the grades and the achievements, and especially that top gal, 35 ACT on her, and 4.8 plus GPA, 4 unweighted. Man, that is the best. The whole setup, everything was, y'all did a great job, really good job. The only other thing I have, the superintendent reached out to me and said he would be prepared to answer the trivia question today. So, Mr. Hill, you're in the seat. Who was the 28th president of the United States?
Was that Woodrow Wilson?
Oh, yeah. Very. Yes. Right? Yes. Okay. Very nice.
So
I thought I had you. Mr. Chambers did not call me and ask.
So we can thank Woodrow Wilson for things that are still affecting our country today, which would be the Federal Reserve and income tax.
And
only Democrat president that at the beginning of the century, because the Republicans controlled pretty much all the way until Franklin Roosevelt became president. So they controlled pretty much everything, and he was the only Democrat that actually made it in. And I believe his wife actually finished up his term because he had a stroke, like in
of Princeton University. Yeah, explains a lot. All right, so Mr. Bryant.
Thank you, and Mr. Hindley, I always look forward to your trivia because I just love history, and the presidential history is something that I think, that we're doing. Commemorate that forever and ever. They named a road after him. So Woodrow Wilson Drive in Valdosta, Georgia. Yes. So just real quick, just want to request Dr. Hale. Of course, we were at FSBIT last week, Miss Cato and I. We had a great time together. I got to know Miss Cato. When we come back from FSBIT is for her to give a report. I will tell you, colleagues, that our property insurance is looking a lot better than it has the last couple of years, and really excited about that. As a matter of fact, it's going to come in pretty much what we budgeted for this year, if not maybe a little bit less, but we did get more coverage than what we've had in the past. We did vote on. We voted. Those numbers were not presented to us at that particular time. So Ms. Cato, Dr. Hale, the superintendent will all be getting that information, and I know they'll pass that along to us when she does her presentation. So that is my request of Ms. Cato. Of the superintendent, to have Ms. Cato address the board regarding FSBIT. Also, it's going to be doing an event this Friday night. I would just like to say that this is being put on by the city of Crestview, namely Mayor J.B. Whidden. As y'all know, J.B. Whidden, the mayor of Crestview, is a champion for opioid education, and at Crestview High on Friday at 5 o'clock. If you live in Crestview, that's going to help students learn more about the opioid addictions and how they can avoid that in the schools or even out in the general world. So we do appreciate Mayor Whidden. He always tries his best to be at school events. He did join us at the Crestview honors program for their underclassmen. So, he's always. Sir?
Oh, he was at Laurel.
Oh, yeah,
Hill,
he did go to Laurel.
He didn't miss any of them, really.
Yeah, he was up at the Laurel Hill ribbon cutting. So, and that is it, Dr.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bryant. Mr. Destin.
No, I don't have anything this morning. I'm going to save any comments I've got for this evening. I just want to, I'm doing my math over here, and, I'm an okay student, but how are we going to get past Herbert Hoover? I think we're going to.
The first president, you got to know who the first president is, the 32nd president.
Or in the middle. Or in the middle, you can just take like the 15th and add it and get the 30th. There you go. So.
Okay. All right. Keeping us on our toes. Yeah. All right. I'll start brushing up on the modern questions.
All right. Okay. Anything else?
No,
All right, so that takes us to section 14, public comment. This would be members of the hearing for the proposed remissioning of Eglin Elementary School to include fifth grade, presented by Mr. Spolsky and recommended by the superintendent.
I do have a question
Sure.
regarding this public comment. So, Mr. Spolsky, I mean, obviously, I haven't heard anything, but it sounds like it's a positive transition, and so far, everybody seems to be on board with it.
I think so, sir. We've been engaging in quite a few. This is something that came from base leadership, the school advisory council, the parent PTO association at Eglin. And years ago, when we had 2 schools on base, we would consolidate that down to K4 and move those fifth graders over to Lewis. So it's probably a very efficient move.
They are behind this, so that makes a big difference right
Yes,
there.
sir.
So,
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr.
thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, and then 15.2, public hearing to consider the approval of a charter school renewal contract with Destin High School, Inc., presented by Dr. Choice and recommended by the superintendent. All right, that takes us to adjournment, but as customary, first of all, anything from staff? Associations? Mr. McInnes, we're good? This meeting is adjourned.
Good job, as
Thank
always,
you, man.
sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.